Hello everyone. If this is your first time here, thank you so much, and if you are a regular viewer, then welcome back. I truly appreciate your time and support. Before we can start the video, please subscribe my channel and hit the like button. Now let's jump into the topic. America, a nation of wealth and opportunity, is also a nation where 600,000 people sleep on the streets every night. The homeless crisis is not just a statistic, it is a human tragedy unfolding across the country's largest cities. From the cold sidewalks of New York to the scorching streets of Phoenix, the problem is growing. In this documentary, we explore the state of homelessness in America's 10 largest cities, the reasons behind the crisis, and the lives of those struggling to survive in a country that seems to have forgotten them. Number 1, New York City, the homeless capital of America. New York has the largest homeless population in the US, with over 100,000 people experiencing homelessness, including tens of thousands of children. While the city has extensive shelter programs, many are unsafe or overcrowded, forcing people to sleep in subways, parks, and doorways. High rents and job losses drive people into homelessness, making it one of the toughest cities to escape poverty. Number 2, Los Angeles, the streets of Skid Row. Los Angeles is home to Skid Row, where thousands of tents line the streets. With over 75,000 homeless people, LA's crisis is among the worst in the nation. Rising housing costs, mental health issues, and addiction fuel the problem. The city has invested billions into housing programs, yet homelessness continues to grow, raising questions about government policies. Number 3, Chicago. Surviving the cold. Chicago's freezing winters make homelessness especially dangerous. The city has about 68,000 homeless individuals, many of whom suffer from mental health issues and job insecurity. Homeless shelters fill up quickly, leaving many to sleep in train stations or under bridges. Community programs offer some relief, but the crisis persists as affordable housing becomes scarcer. Number 4, Houston, a glimpse of hope. Houston has taken an innovative approach to homelessness with its Housing First program, which has reduced chronic homelessness by 60%. The city provides housing without requiring sobriety or employment, allowing individuals to rebuild their lives. However, with over 3,000 people still on the streets, the fight is far from over. Number 5, Phoenix, a crisis in the desert. Phoenix faces a rapidly growing homeless population, with numbers doubling in the last 5 years. The extreme desert heat makes life unbearable for those living in tent encampments. The main causes? Soaring rents, job losses, and lack of mental health services. The city has increased funding for shelters, but more than 9,000 people remain homeless. Number 6, Philadelphia, the shadow of addiction. Philadelphia's homelessness crisis is deeply connected to the opioid epidemic. The city has one of the highest drug overdose rates in the US, leaving thousands homeless and addicted. Areas like Kensington Avenue are filled with people struggling with substance abuse and untreated mental illnesses. The city's response has been mixed. Some focus on harm reduction, while others push for stricter law enforcement. Number 7, San Antonio, criminalizing homelessness. San Antonio has taken a law enforcement approach to homelessness, often ticketing and arresting people for sleeping in public spaces. While the city has built shelters and transitional housing, many homeless individuals avoid them due to strict rules and unsafe conditions. Affordable housing remains out of reach for many, keeping them trapped in a cycle of poverty. Number 8, San Diego, a beachside tragedy. San Diego's homelessness problem is hidden in plain sight, with thousands of people living in cars, on sidewalks, and near the beaches. The city has a mild climate, making it a destination for those without shelter, but it also has one of the worst affordable housing shortages in the country. Despite local efforts, more than 10,000 people remain homeless. Number 9, Dallas, struggles in a growing city. Dallas is rapidly expanding, but rising housing costs are pushing more people onto the streets. The city has over 4,000 homeless individuals, with encampments growing under highways and in abandoned buildings. Shelters are often full, and while some programs provide temporary relief, long-term solutions remain scarce. Number 10. San Jose. The cost of Silicon Valley. San Jose, located in the heart of Silicon Valley, is home to some of the richest tech companies in the world. Yet thousands sleep on the streets every night. High housing prices have driven more than 10,000 people into homelessness. Many live in vehicles, parking overnight in designated areas. While the city has increased funding for shelters, the affordability crisis keeps growing. The causes: a web of problems. Number 1. Housing crisis. Cities like San Diego and San Jose have some of the most expensive housing markets in the country, leaving thousands unable to afford even a modest apartment. Gentrification pushes low-income residents out, forcing them onto the streets. Number 2. Mental health and addiction. In cities like Philadelphia and Chicago, mental health services are underfunded, and addiction treatment programs fall short. Many of the homeless suffer from untreated mental illnesses, making reintegration into society nearly impossible. Number 3. Job insecurity and inflation. Texas cities such as Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas may have a lower cost of living than New York or LA, but inflation and job instability still leave many unable to afford stable housing. Even those with jobs often find themselves living out of their cars or in temporary shelters. The reality: life on the streets. For the homeless, daily survival is a battle. Public restrooms are scarce, hygiene is a struggle, and violence is a constant threat. Many suffer from extreme weather, freezing winters in Chicago and Philadelphia, or unbearable heat in Phoenix and San Antonio. Some cities try to address the issue. Houston has seen some success with Housing First programs, which provide homes before requiring sobriety or employment. But other cities, like San Diego and Dallas, focus more on criminalization, fining and arresting the homeless instead of addressing the root causes. The broken system? Government policies have failed to provide long-term solutions. Billion-dollar budgets are spent, yet homelessness continues to rise. Laws that make sleeping in public spaces illegal push the homeless into even worse conditions. Meanwhile, luxury developments rise where affordable housing should be built. There is no single solution, but programs that focus on permanent housing, mental health treatment, and economic support have shown promise. The question remains: will America act before this crisis becomes irreversible? A country at a crossroads. From New York to San Jose, one thing is clear: homelessness is not just an urban issue, it's a national emergency. Some cities like Houston show that progress is possible, while others struggle to find effective solutions. The U.S. must decide: will it continue down the path of rising inequality and growing tent cities, or will it invest in long-term solutions to restore hope? The choice is ours. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe my channel and hit the like button. Follow for more.